To become a highly effective secondary teacher in the 21st century, it is essential for educators to cater to learner diversity, effectively implement ICT in a meaningful way, and respond to challenging behaviour in effective ways. To explore this answer in further depth, relevant literature and policy will be related to personal experiences during the professional experiences within an educational setting. For catering to learner diversity, it is important that teachers become aware of the relevant policy, understand physical disability and limitations to access, and to be made aware of how to cater to gifted students. Additionally, secondary teachers must be made aware of how to cater to different learning styles. The Australian Institute for Teaching and School Leadership is a policy which highlights the importance of ICT. In addition, the barriers surrounding ICT need to be explored as well as the strategies to overcome these barriers. Furthermore, for teachers to become highly effective, ICT must be implemented in a meaningful way to enhance student learning. Finally, the topic of managing challenging behaviour will be explored with a focus on proactive and reactive strategies. These strategies will then be compared to the experiences within a secondary classroom setting. Therefore, the ability to cater to diversity, implement ICT effectively, and manage challenging behaviour determine the effectiveness of secondary teachers in the 21st century. The ability to cater to a diversity of learners is one aspect which determines the effectiveness of secondary teachers in the 21st century. The importance of the ability of secondary teachers to cater to a diverse range of students is highlighted through international, national, and state policy, and through academic literature. The relevance of both policy and literature for catering to diversity corroborate with the experiences that I noticed during my practical experience within a secondary school setting. At an international level, the UNESCO Salamanca Declaration is an example of policy which relates to the catering to a diversity of students. Nationally, the Melbourne Declaration on Educational Goals for Young Australians supports the importance for secondary teachers to cater for a diversity of students to be effective. The declaration consists of two main goals. The first goal aims to promote equity and excellence in Australian schooling across all levels of government and all schooling sectors. The second goal aims for young Australians to be successful learners, confident and creative individuals, and active and informed citizens. At a state level, the Queensland College of Teachers Code of Ethics promotes the values of integrity, dignity, responsibility, respect, justice and care amongst teaching professionals. The value of dignity is demonstrated through valuing diversity, equitable and compassionate treatment of students, and through valuing effort, potential and uniqueness of all students. Catering to diversity includes catering to physical disability, catering to gifted learners, and catering to unique learning styles. Physical disability refers to concerns surrounding access and participation in classroom and off-campus activities. This is important as participation is related to performance and engagement, with more participation leading to better student academic performance. With respect to the practical experience in secondary education settings, the school I attended provided ramps and wider doorways to accommodate to physical disability and limitations. Furthermore, support can be accessed through teacher aides with classroom activities as well as working with professionals such as physiotherapists, speech pathologists, as well as teacher aides. This also corroborated with the practical experience which provided teacher aides for students with learning difficulties. Another aspect of catering to learner diversity is catering to gifted students. Gifted students are defined as students who acquire knowledge faster and may become bored with the slower pace in a classroom environment. To cater to gifted students, modifications of the curriculum to adapt to the learning needs of gifted students can be implemented. A three-tier approach can be used to develop a modified curriculum. The first tier refers to determining the abilities of students in the classroom to find out which students are potentially gifted. The second tier refers to pedagogical strategies such as small group work, the opportunity for more difficult and enriching classwork, and finally, the third tier refers to individual planning and support and may be needed for exceptionally gifted students. In addition to catering to learner diversity, effective secondary school teachers need to be able to use information communication technology, or ICT, to enhance the learning experiences of students. The Australian Institute for Teaching and School Leadership, or AITL, highlights the importance of ICT. Within the Australian Professional Teaching Standards, Standard 2.6 states that teachers must be competent to, quote, implement teaching strategies for using ICT to expand curriculum, learning and opportunities for students. Furthermore, Standard 3.4, which states that teachers need to, quote, demonstrate knowledge of a range of resources, including ICT, that engage students in their learning, reinforces the importance of ICT. Therefore, ICT is important to the effectiveness of secondary teachers in the 21st century. To further explore how ICT is important to teaching practice, both barriers surrounding ICT and the benefits to the individual student learning experience will be addressed. One of the major issues surrounding the implementation of ICT in a schooling context is access to computers for each student, internet connection, ICT access at home, and technical issues with ICT. In conjunction to the barriers surrounding the implementation of ICT in secondary classrooms, there are a great number of benefits. ICT can be used to prepare students to become 21st century learners. This can be achieved through using the SAMR model, which explores how ICT can be implemented in schools and the extent in which it can be implemented. The substitution level of ICT refers to using ICT as a substitute for learning activity with no functional benefit. During the practical experiences in a secondary classroom context, this was evident through using tablets to take notes and applications on tablets as a substitute for textbooks. The augmentation stage refers to using ICT as a substitute but with a functional benefit. This was evident with students using blocking activities as a reflective tool on previous lessons. Modification refers to the implementation of ICT which allows for task redesign. Redefinition refers to using ICT to allow for new tasks to be created with a learning benefit. Both modification and redefinition were evident within the practical professional experience. In one activity, students in a Year 9 HBE class were tasked with creating a video on the correct softball pitching and catching technique with commentary. This activity allowed for students to create with ICT and with a learning benefit associated with students learning how to correctly throw and catch a softball. The effectiveness of secondary educators in the 21st century has been explored through the ability to cater to diverse learners of students and through implementing ICT in a meaningful way to improve student learning experience. The final topic that will be explored is targeting challenging behaviour and behaviour management. For secondary educators in the 21st century to be effective, both proactive and reactive behaviour management strategies need to be considered and implemented when necessary. Behavioural issues can range from minor interruptions to physical violence, and 40 to 50% of teachers leave the teaching profession in the first 5 years, citing behavioural management issues as a frequent reason. Proactive behaviour management strategies refer to strategies used to lessen the likelihood of behavioural issues, preventing potential behaviour issues in the future. Proactive strategies include a behavioural frequency record, or a BFR, which is used to track challenging behaviour and the frequency of this behaviour. Another strategy that can be utilised is a functional behaviour assessment, or FBA, used to mitigate potential issues and to look at the potential triggers. In addition to proactive behaviour management, reactive behaviour management strategies may also be necessary. Reactive behaviour management refers to responses to inappropriate behaviour through responding to the negative behaviours displayed, compared to proactive behaviour management, which encourages positive behaviour. To conclude, to become a highly effective secondary teacher in the 21st century, teachers need to be able to cater to learner diversity, implement ICT in effective ways, and respond to challenging behaviour. The presentation has explored the importance of these topics for contemporary teachers, as well as the importance of policy and relevant literature in conjunction to professional classroom experience. Therefore, for teachers to become effective educators in the 21st century, secondary teachers need to be aware of these topics covered and need to understand how they can aid with teaching practice.